Hello. Hi. This summer, I went away with my husband, my lovely husband, and he suggested while we were on holiday that we go to see an exhibition of Leonardo da Vinci. And I said, no, I really don't want to go. I've had enough of dead white men. I've been steeped in dead white men. And it's not that he's not good, because clearly he is. And men have done lots of fantastic things, and they're generally quite brilliant, but so are women. And yeah, we need to get out there. As I grew up, most of the role models on TV and in film were blokes, so they had all the dialogue. In history, I was taught at school, everything was about men. Men were just everywhere, and I didn't see women really represented terribly. And then there was the History of Art by Gombrich, the most famous art book in the world. 6 million copies, 17 editions, 800 pages, and one woman artist. It's not good. So this is me at the National Museum of Wales. They recently told us that of all the exhibitions they had over the last 5 years, they had 3 times as many men as women. And that needs to change. The National Gallery in London recently bought this picture by Artemisia Gentileschi. It's the first picture by a woman they bought in 21 years. They now have 1 picture by a woman for every 100 pictures they've got by a man, and they think they're doing well. Women need to be seen more. We have been there, we have done things, but we've not been represented. As Virginia Woolf said, that in history, Anonymous was a woman. Representation is important. If we don't see what we can be, we won't know. If our daughters don't see women represented in history, they won't know they can do these things. So it's important that we're shown. 51% of the population is female, but 76% of our MPs are men. There are more people called Dave running FTSE 100 companies than there are women. It's not right. If she can't see it, she can't be it. We need to show women. So here's some fantastic women for you. First, we'll start off with Camille Claudel, an amazing French sculptor who worked incredibly well, did fantastic work until her very lovely father died, and the rest of her family had her incarcerated. They locked her up in an asylum for the rest of her life. 4 decades she spent in an asylum. We all think we know who Florence Nightingale is. She was a nice nurse. No, she was a statistician. She was the mother of infographics. She spent the second half of her life in her bedroom doing data analysis. Have you heard of Beryl Burton? Fantastic cyclist. She broke records that men had previously had for years. For decades, some of her records stood. She was the most brilliant natural cyclist. Rosalind Franklin, she discovered what DNA looked like, not Crick and Watson, who got the Nobel Prize for it, the Nobel Prize for it. She was overlooked because she died conveniently, and they got her work. Marcel Duchamp, with his seminal work, Fountain, wasn't his work at all. It belongs to this lady, his mate. She's written about it before he showed it as her work. And I've forgotten her name. It's really long and complicated. The women who made the space challenge happen in the 60s, who did all the maths, we only heard about them recently. And I think feminism probably had something to do with bigging that up. The £10 note, getting a woman on a banknote caused the campaigner to receive death threats and threats of violent rape. People don't want women to be represented. They fight against it. Apart from this nice man, I'd like to say something for this nice man who always stands up for women. He's great. We like Andy Murray. And I would also like to say something about the women who are coming through, who are representing, who are standing up and being brilliant women. Yeah, I can't remember all their names now. They've fallen out of my head. I'm rubbish at names, which is why I've got the paper, but I can't read it. And then we've got Captain Marvel. I'm not a Marvel fan. She's brilliant. She's lovely. I say thank you, Captain Marvel, for being so powerful and so in control and enjoying it so much. And yeah, I watched her and I thought everything sort of fell into place. Thank you, Captain Marvel, really.